Hello, Vishal Brown. I'm the digital workplace offering leader at NTT Data Services. They work hand in hand. So the way I describe digital workplace services in layman's terms is when you think about everything that the employee from the beginning of their journey at any enterprise, at any place of work. What are the services and capabilities that allows them to be productive and really elevate the employee experience? So the services in digital workplace make sure we really monitor, manage, and enhance and elevate that employee experience as they go through the journey within that workplace. So as we kind of get into describing what each one of those components are, you'll see how that really enhances and elevates the productivity of the employee. I think it has grown in importance because of just the nature of work has evolved. As we think about current work styles and work trends, as we think about the multi-generational workforce, as we think about emerging from COVID, right? We've all gone through COVID here. All of a sudden, we're all working from home. And typically, the services and capabilities that would make sure to give you a good employee experience that you got within the physical workplace, those support structures were no longer there in whole. And so as people work from home, really making sure that the employee had a great experience as they work and collaborate with their peers and having a high level of productivity, that became a gap, and said another way, that became really important. So really monitoring and managing the employee experience in a hybrid working model became really important. I think the other side of that equation too is, as you think about a multi-generational workforce, there's a cultural component there as well. More experienced workers, let's use that phrase, would probably prefer to stay in the office and work, and that's just the nature and the way they like to work, their work style. Millennials probably prefer a more flexible work style. And so when you take those couple of those factors and you put everyone in a hybrid working model, you could see some folks, especially some of our senior workers or senior leaders, would struggle to really work in that home working fashion. And so really monitoring and managing the employee experience to make sure they're productive became really important. So employee experience has really changed from what we were pre-COVID to where we are now. It all ties back to the point of the employee experience and really elevating the employee experience. When you think about, again, that multi-generational workforce, and one of the driving factors in a recent McKinsey study and why folks were leaving the workplace, just because they weren't empowered with the tools that enable them and give them the flexibility to work anytime, anywhere, any place. And so once you give them that flexibility, how do you put the power of choice within the employee's hands? So that means when you deliver services, you got to give them consumerized experiences, right? So take, for example, if I want to order something for myself in our consumer lives, I probably go to Amazon for that off the internet, right? And I browse a range of things that I'm looking for and ultimately pick one. Or if I do need support, and I had a broken light in a rare bumper light in my car, and I went to YouTube and I figured that out myself without going to pay a mechanic to fix it, right? So those are two examples where the experience is very self-serve, consumerized. Amazon, YouTube. So now apply that to the enterprise. And so how do we create human-centric design with the services we're providing? So for example, today in a workplace, if you want a laptop, we provide a storefront. And that way you're able to go select the one that's right size for you depending on your persona. And just like Amazon, you have that kind of shopping-based experience to pick devices that are pertinent to your job. So that's one way we're consumerizing that experience. And the other way, again, where it's a human-centric design, is when you want support. Again, I went to YouTube, right? So if you wanted help, do you necessarily want to speak to someone? Maybe, but I would want to try to figure that out myself first if I could. And so that way, providing knowledge objects and things like conversational AI and chatbot, so that way I can solve that problem myself, if possible, before I actually engage a human. And so those are the way we're thinking about designing services that are more human-centered, human-centric around our consumerized typical daily lives.